Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Monday the 12th of January. Before we get on to the charts themselves, let's a quick look at news-wise what's going on. I was just reading this morning as there's apparently there's threats of criminal prosecutions against the Fed members by the looks of things from Trump now. There's all sorts of stuff going on there, plus we've got the usual geopolitical stuff going on around the world, which is escalating in some parts. Right, Friday's non-farm payrolls was a bit of a mixed bag there. Unemployment rate actually fell, but the jobs growth was less than expected, so there we are. Probably the way the numbers are calculated or not. Anyway, so that was last week. This week we have, and today we've got the US bank holiday actually. This is for Martin Luther King Day, so there we go. You probably find a lot of things that are still open on this one. Most Forex, I'm not sure even if the equity markets are closed yet. Anyway, so allegedly there's a bank holiday there. Canadian data, inflation coming out there, and that's it for today. So it's normally a quietish day, the Monday after the non-farm payrolls. So we'll see what's going on. So getting on straight into the markets, I'm going to run through these. Some of these are sort of fresh eyes on them from me, so apologies that I haven't actually filtered them down, but we'll just run through the majors quickly. So the euro dollar first, and well, you can see that at the moment we're seeing a bit of a reversal. Found some support on Friday into the monthly S1 there. There was quite a number of things that it was sitting around on Friday. It got down to its S3 on the weeklies eventually, and on the dailies there we go. So that was its breakdown on the dailies. It got down to its S2. Quite a jumble. I exited my short position. I ended up with just over 3% for last week on it, so that was fine. What we're seeing here though is a bit of a reversal coming in at this stage. So we sort of effectively seen it come back, double bottom here. It's not looking great at the moment. How long this will last is another question. It's in its early days. It's literally one single bar on the dailies, of course, so whether this holds on for the rest of the day, whether we'll see a continuation to the upside, we'll have to wait and see, but there was plenty of support there. The pound, similar picture in terms of it found support. It was broken this sort of key trend here last week, but found support off its monthly pivot there. It's a mess where it is at the moment. It's just coming under to the underside of this week's pivot. We'll just see how it reacts this morning off this, whether it gets a move down. If it breaks straight through it, well, it has put this higher low in there, which is a suggestion of a change of trend. So both the euro and the pound on the short-term time frame is showing that same change of trend there this morning. How long they'll last, bearing in mind they're only on a sort of hourly picture, we'll have to wait and see. US dollar yen, it's still quite messy here. I'm not particularly keen on trying to trade this at this stage. It's a complete mess anyway. The Aussie had been running up. Yes, last week we saw it come down towards the end of the midweek. There was it Wednesday. It topped out. Again, it's sort of like the other currencies here. We've seen this weaker dollar, and we're seeing this sort of higher lows coming through at this stage. If I was looking for one of the markets that particularly looks on the longer side, it could be the Australian dollar. It had been running up well until Wednesday. You'll see on this short time frame there's a bit of a head and shoulder pattern going on there, so there's the potential of a continuation here at least. the depth of this, well, it's quite an ugly one with this spike in the middle here, but the overall pattern is there. So we'll see. It could come up an equal throw to this sort of movement. So we'll see on that one. US dollar CAD. Oops. Cancel that. Didn't want that. Go away. Oh yeah. US dollar CAD. There's no surprise to see a reversal on this with a weaker dollar this morning. We've got support levels. Just looking at it on the 4-hourly point of view, new monthly pivot may act as a support level for the dollar there, effectively against the CAD. We'll wait again. Bit of patience this morning, but again it's put the lower high in. So on all of these major markets, we've seen reversals kicking through there. Looking at a couple of the crosses, euro yen. Well, this is continued today back into its sort of route. It did start this on Friday, this move back to the upside here. It's yeah, looking like it's got potentially further upside, but again it just may have exhausted itself the way it's moved in terms of the wave formation there. So a bit slow. I was looking at the other euro pairs, euro Aussie here. Well, this has gone choppy. That's no good. And the pound Aussie, similar, completely gone choppy now. So not interested in any of those. So wait see market today by the looks of things a lot more. Gold is up nearly, well, it's up 1.7%. Don't know, say nearly 2% then. Broken out, made new highs here on the dailies. As I said last week, it's always that risk that it could push to the upside. There'll be people wanting to short it because it is so high, and there would have been last week when it was running here. I can understand maybe cutting positions, taking some profit when it's floating around here a little bit more, but actually trying to short it is a different case. You could argue it's technically shorting it when you're closing your position, but you've got to take profits at some stage, haven't you? Well, so you've got to. Anyway, this is surged up on the news, legal news, etc. Not looking too great at the moment. Oil, so oil Friday tried to push up here. As I said, I think around about the levels we got here is a sort of a bottoming level in general terms, because the cost of production. So we'll see how it develops from here, but it's quite ugly and messy. It did go up on Thursday quite well and flew up on Friday afternoon there, but possibly more chance of pushing up at the moment, but really not looking to trade it. S&Ps down 0.5% this morning, but on Friday we saw new highs made. Bit of a correction since that, of course, and well, market's reacting, but are we going to see it just curve around again? This is a bit like gold in terms of these equity markets at the moment, as much as some of them, yes, they could be overbought, etc. Well, it's just as likely to still fly up and push beyond. So the FTSE quite similar in terms of its movement there, pushing up there on Friday, not quite into the new highs on Friday, had done earlier in the week there, but still looking quite bullish. Friday's move was, I was looking at this move off the pivots here, it went quite nicely and slowly, but went through there before it was mostly done up until 1 o'clock. So on the early part before the news came out, then it of course we saw reactions in the market. Has put a little lower high in at the moment. We'll wait to see what happens with this, but not necessarily a long from where it sits now. The DAX, or certainly not a long for where it sits there now for me. DAX okay, that did similar. pushed up into its R1. Well, we're not too far away from the R1. It's pinched a little bit more now, the DAX, and it's in between this. You see this quarterly R1 running across the tops here as well. A break of that level, well, running up to the daily R1, maybe more. It's looking a little bit more positive at this stage, and it's the equity markets which seem a little bit more easier to determine their direction. They're generally moving up. The European, the DAX and the FTSE both seeing reasonable moves during the day, so it's just a bit of a patience game on those for this morning at the moment. Right, I shall leave you there. Have a great day's trading, and I will catch you tomorrow morning. Take care. Bye for now.